This is the Healthy Business Podcast, the show for ambitious business owners who want to grow and scale in a healthy way. I'm Sarah Cook, and I'll be sharing with you tips, inspiration, and proven methods from leading business experts, entrepreneurs, and health and wellness professionals to help you grow your business with more income and having more impact, but in a way that works for you. Because when you have clarity and strategy, you can achieve the results you want. Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Healthy Business Podcast. I'm Sarah Cook and I'm going to be sharing with you 40 lessons that I have learnt in my 40 years. So this weekend I turned the big 40, and whilst obviously I haven't been in business for 40 years, I wanted to share a few learnings, 40 learnings and lessons that have really enabled me to build the life and build the business in the way that I want to, and enabled me to scale to six figures and beyond. And I thought it'd be useful because I know there's so much kind of around the social media and listening to gurus that we kind of get a bit confused, don't we? There's so much information. And I thought it'd be really useful to share actually what's going on behind the scenes for me, what has been going on behind the scenes over the last 40 years that I've really learnt and enabled me to scale in a way that works for me and that allows me to help my clients get the results that they're looking for as well. So the first one that I want to share with you, and these aren't necessarily in any specific order, I wanted to kind of create a bit of fluidity with this as well. So the first one is to actually be you, be authentically you, and build a business that feels so aligned to you that you're in love with it, because you're doing it every day. You've made the choice to set up and run a business, to not be in that constrained world of corporate, to work in a way that feels good for you. And linked to that is integrity, because integrity for me is something that you don't need to shout about. Your results, your client results should speak for themselves. And often I find, and often I've found, even some of the really big kind of coaches and business owners, the ones who, now that might sound quite controversial, but it generally is the way. For me, integrity isn't something that should be shouted about. It's just inherent and is there. Results speak for themselves. Success really does come from having clarity plus strategy and the mindset and energetics to allow you to achieve those results that you're looking for. Because when you get clear on exactly what you want to offer, when you get clear on the exact ideal client that you want to help, when you get clear on, the business that you want to build and your goals, then you can build that strategy. But the reason that a strategy works is that you have the mindset and energetics. You can have the best strategy in the world, but if you don't believe it, if you don't take action on it because you've got imposter syndrome, or you don't have the energy to deliver those things, then you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. So having an amazing strategy, having super clear offers and clients, that's not guaranteed to get you the results. You have to have the mindset and energetics included in that as well. And as part of that, really don't compare yourself to other people, because every single person, whatever business you have, whatever industry, whatever niche you're in, your version of success is going to be different to everybody else's. And the speed that you achieve that success is dependent on so many things as well. And this has come down to kind of getting clear on your goals and how you want to achieve them, because you've got different family set up, you've got different lifestyle goals, you've got different situations, you've got different financial goals, maybe different financial requirements. So many things come into this. And actually, when I ask a lot of my clients what success means to them, it often comes down to that freedom, that flexibility to choose the impact that they want to deliver. It isn't necessarily related to their business. And I asked this recently in my Scale to Sustainable Six Figures Masterclass, what success mean to people? And not a single one of them said six-figure business. Their version of success was what the six-figure business actually enabled them to do. So when we're thinking about success, when we're aiming for those goals, really think about what that enables you to do. What is your version of success? Now, the next one that I want to really touch on is that intentional action and focus will get you there faster. And this comes down to a little bit about having the right clarity, the right strategy, because we don't want to get into scattergun approach. If you're trying to do all different things and not knowing which one is going to stick, that leads to overwhelm. Overwhelm only kicks in when you don't have a clear plan and you don't know what clear actions to take. So having that real focus, really dialing down onto the things that are actually going to make a difference, will get you there faster. It will eliminate overwhelm. It will eliminate burnout as well. Now, focus requires patience. right? And this is one of the things that high achieving business owners don't necessarily want to admit this, but we have to have patience. We have to try things and we have to let them settle to be able to test them properly, to be able to then analyze. And that can sometimes require hard graft, and it can sometimes require digging a little bit deeper to really analyze things, especially if things don't go the way that you want to or as quickly as you'd like. We have to have that patience before trying something else in that is then a kind of a scattergun approach. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that, as we're scaling, as we're growing our business, you're going to get more income, obviously. But actually, we're most likely to reinvest a lot of that profit back into your business, especially in the early years when you're scaling, because there are different things that you need as you kind of scale, different systems, maybe you need some support. Maybe you start hitting that VAT threshold. Maybe you start needing, different corporation tax, or you become a limited company. So many different things that when you're starting to have profits, you need to put back into the business, investing in coaches, investing in masterminds. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later as well. But really, I want you to think about that the more joy and the more flow that you can add into your business on an everyday perspective, the easier it will feel to scale. And this has a direct knock-on effect on your business and the money that you can make. Because if you're in a constant state of hustle or scarcity, you don't feel the joy, you're not enjoying what you're doing, that comes across in everything that you're doing. How you interact with your clients, the marketing messaging that you're putting out there, the content, how you engage with other people and your network. We want to have more flow because, as I said, that has a knock-on effect. People want to be inspired by you. They want to work with you because they see that and they want to, be connected on an emotional level, have that relationship with you, rather than someone who is always in that negative space that is complaining about things all across social media. Now, this comes a little bit down to mindset, which we'll talk about later as well. But as I said, the more joy and flow you can add in, and actually this really kind of couples with the more joy that I add into my business, the easier everything feels, the more money I start making, the more impact that I have on my clients. And it really does have that literal knock-on impact. Linking to that is the desire versus commitment, because we can all want to do something, but actually, if we're not taking that intentional action, if we are not committing to getting those results, then we don't really have a business. It just becomes a lovely hobby that is going to stay where it is. A wish stays a wish until we take action on it, right? So that desire versus commitment is something really strongly to consider. And that can feel hard when you're growing and scaling, testing new things, doing things out of your comfort zone. We have to commit to that growth if you want to have that growth. And as part of that, recognizing that your clients might change. And that is okay as well, because as you grow, as you evolve, as you learn more, you want to step up. Your prices will probably increase. The type of offer that you put out there will probably change as well. It's not up to you to stay small, right? I don't want you to serve at a lower level if it's not fulfilling you. It's up to your audience, your clients, to keep up with you and evolve if they choose to, right? This isn't about us choosing for them. This is about them choosing for themselves. So I want you to really consider that you are that inspiration that they're looking up to. So you need to keep moving, because all the impact that you're creating, all of the results that you're helping to create, you want to stay in that space that you can still help people. And as part of this, the inner work is an absolute game changer. Really, really considering growth mindset. And I've talked a lot about growth mindset on previous episodes, but really thinking about our growth circles. When we're in our comfort zone, our safety zone, we're in this space that we start feeling unfulfilled. We start feeling frustrated that we're not moving forward. And imposter syndrome can kick in, right? When we start trying new things, those mindset monkeys can start kicking in of going, oh, who are you to think that you want more? And I want you to recognize, and this is something that kind of has really helped me move forward, is that those growth circles, leaning into that growth, leaning into those frustrations, those challenges, that growth mindset, recognizing that challenges are always going to happen, that learning can feel difficult, that doing something for the first time can feel difficult. It is a never-ending cycle of growth. And that's why it's really important that we do the consistent work on ourselves. Because as we move through that fear zone, into that learning zone, into that next growth zone, that next growth zone becomes your new comfort zone. Because once you've got everything in place to be at that next level of success that you've always wanted, then you start thinking, oh, well, what else is there? You know, I don't want to be in this space anymore. I want to have more impact. I want to be able to do these things. And I remember when I first became a coach and saying, oh, I want to have X number of people on my program and have, you know, at least 6 people within my mastermind, getting to that level and going, do you know what? I want to help more people. How can I take that 6 into 10? How can I take that 10 into 20? What does that look like? What work do I need to do? And that feels scary, right? It feels scary when we're doing that and we're growing. But recognizing that that is all part of growth, the inner work, the mindset piece is really important, and it is consistent. But if we know that that is always going to happen, then we can start recognizing those signs, those moments where you start feeling uncomfortable or feeling like there's something else. We can lean on that to get support or push through that in a way that feels good for us. Because I think the other thing to remember is that being part of a conversation of the level that you want to be at, not the level you're in, will really help with that and push you through those growth mindset issues. Because yes, it feels scary. Yes, it feels super scary having conversations and being in, you know, networks and communities where people are at a much higher level than you. But you will get there soon if you are part of those conversations. It is a very different conversation when you're at 10K months than it is when you're just starting out your business. It's a very different kind of conversation and the things that you're talking about when you're at the 2 to 3K months as it is to 10K months. And even beyond that, when you're striving, maybe you're striving for 7 figures. Think about who you're spending time with, because you are the sum of the people that you surround yourself. And this is one of the reasons that I'm part of a mastermind. It's one of the reasons that I created my own mastermind, the Thrive Mastermind, because I wanted to create a container where action-taking people, like-minded, amazing women could be in a safe space to ask those questions without judgment, that were looking to achieve that next level of success, that had the support from others and myself to enable them to get to that next level of success, recognizing that mindset wobbles will come up and that's okay. And we work through all of those things together. So having that support where you can ask questions, where you've got access to resources, to materials, to knowledge, to other people who have been in that journey before you, that is the power of being part of a mastermind. And that's why I continue to invest in masterminds as well. Keeping things simple. Now we're on to kind of number 13 already, keeping things simple. So less offers, but double down on what works, right? I spent first part of my business having so many different offers, so many different products and services that people could access from me. It wasn't until I really started optimizing everything that I really started seeing the knock-on effect of me being able to scale. Not only does this allow you to create upsells in your funnels without you having to deliver everything in person, in one-to-one way, but actually really understanding the driving force of your business and doubling down on what works that allows you to scale in a way that feels good for you. So optimizing things. And this can come down to not just what you're putting out there from a products and services perspective. This can come down to your systems, your processes, the people that you're working with. Optimize everything. I think when we're scaling, there is this, there's almost this kind of notion that actually the only way to have big months is to do a big launch. And we see this with a lot of people, don't we? You know, those big masterclasses, those big challenge launches, and I've done those myself. But what I really want you to encourage you, and when you're thinking about your income, is to look at it from an annual perspective. Because yes, sometimes we do need to have those cash injections, but actually I would much rather you have that steady incremental monthly growth. Every single month you're growing and growing and growing, rather than having and spending so much energy on creating this launch, which might not go as the way that you want to. A big launch is unpredictable. There is uncertainty with that. I want you to create certainty within your business, knowing that you have that consistent cash flow every single month, that monthly recurring revenue. How can you create that in your business? And this comes a little bit down to understanding what's working in your business and optimizing things, focusing on that driving force. But being on a roller coaster from an income perspective is not a nice place to be. Having that uncertainty is not a nice place to be. It's a basic human need, right? We take this back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Safety, security is something that as humans we crave. And that comes down to finances as well. So we want to make sure that a business, as you're scaling, that we have that steady incremental monthly growth that isn't going to lead to burnout, that isn't going to lead to overwhelm, that you can integrate that next level of income and incremental it every month as well. As part of this, to help you do that, you need to master sales and marketing messaging and sense check it at least every quarter, or if you're putting something new out, because your audience changes, the world changes. It is the one constant out there, right? The one constant is change. We've seen this so much over the last few years, not just from a pandemic perspective, but how people's habits have changed, how people's choices and wants have changed. Mastering sales, mastering marketing messaging so that you are talking directly to your audience is going to make a massive difference to you being able to grow your business. You don't need to be anyone else. Going back to my first point of actually being you and your true authentic self, that's what's going to relate to people, because people buy from people. That real emotional connection with somebody, that relationship, that's what you're trying to do. And sales doesn't need to be icky. It doesn't need to be a big challenge and then sell at the end of it, or a masterclass and sell at the end of it. Build relationships, have conversations. Conversations lead to conversions. People want to be heard. They want to be listened to. They want to be understood. That doesn't have to come from icky sales tactics or hardcore, masculine energy. Create what feels good for you. Sell in a way that feels good for you. Similarly, from a marketing messaging, you want to be polarizing. You want to get under the skin of your ideal client, because that's what's going to create that emotional connection with them. Think about your flow of your pipeline, your audience growth. So where is that coming from? And recognizing that you want to have a consistent flow of clients in your pipeline, that you've got a consistent flow of whether it's discovery calls or messages or connections with people. Remember, conversations equal conversions. So audience growth, whether that's through lead magnets, whether it's doing a free group, a community, whether that is, showing up as a guest expert on someone else's program or in someone else's group, or even on a podcast. How can you grow your audience in a way that feels good for you? Building on that, there are only 3 ways to grow your business. Now, this might surprise some of you from listening to this, but this is something that is really important to remember. There are only 3 ways to grow your business. First one, getting more clients. That's the one that so many people focus on, and I'll talk to you about that in a sec. Having more value and getting more value from your existing clients, or getting your existing clients to buy more frequently. The rest that you hear is just sales and marketing tools and tactics. Getting new clients, and this is the one that most people focus on, is actually the hardest way to grow your business. And it's the most expensive way to grow your business if you're doing ads. It's not to say that we shouldn't focus on getting new clients, but thinking about what you've already got, the relationships that you already have. How can you extend that customer pipeline, that customer journey with you? Because they already love you. They already trust you. They've already got that relationship with you. So don't let them get to a point and then disappear off, because you can help them. And this is the importance of continuing to learn, continue to evolve, so that you can help them as they grow as well. As part of that, I want you to think about your multi-tiered business model. Don't rely on a single source of income. We saw so many people that had to close their businesses or massively change their business because of the pandemic. Now, fully booked for me is exactly the same situation as having or being forced to close your business, because we then get to a space where your clients are basically deciding how you're working in your business. You have an income ceiling, you lose the flexibility, you can't help as many people as you want to, and you lose everything that you really had wanted to. So building a multi-tiered business model where you have different offers at different levels, where you are involved more or less depending on the price point, will really help you to take that time out, whether you're forced to take it time out, whether you're poorly, or your children are poorly, or actually whether you choose to, whether you want to go on holiday. It's the same situation from a business perspective. Okay, so to help you do this, really thinking about market trends and the impact that they have on you as a business owner, but also on your audience. And you can do loads of research on this. I share macro trends with my ideal clients, in my mastermind and my one-to-one clients. I share market trends. I spend the time researching and seeing what is going on in the world, because it has a direct impact on ourselves, how we run our business, and our audience, right? And things change. So you have to stay on top of that. As part of that, though, you might consider that you don't have time to do that. So investing in the support that you need. Now, this can be ad hoc, and it could be, thinking about it from a personal perspective as well as from a business perspective. It might be that you get a cleaner on a regular basis. That was one of my first hires that gave me back a lot of time. Yes, it's a business expense. It allows you to work more in your business and on your business rather than spending time doing the cleaning. Of course, I can do the cleaning. That's not what it's about. This is about taking a CEO approach to your business and investing in the support that you need. So it could be a cleaner. It could be, even something like online food delivery. So people, you're getting the delivery of food rather than you spending hours in the supermarket. It could be tech support, someone to help you build your funnels. It could be investing in a mentor or a high-level mastermind. For me, that was the biggest game changer for my business. Talking to people, and I spoke about this earlier, being involved in those conversations with people at a higher level. My aim when I invest in these things is to 10 times my investment. And I expect that with my audience as well. So my clients that come into my mastermind, nearly 90% of their clients make their full investment back within 3 months of starting working with me. And I'm really, really passionate about that because, again, it goes back to that safety and security. We want to be sure that we're going to get a return on investment. There are so many charlatans out there. There are so many people that have been burnt by coaches that overpromise. This is not a space that I want to be in. This is not a space that I want any of you to be in. We have to get results for our clients. And if we can prove that in a way that feels good for us, and this isn't, as I said, this isn't about hardcore marketing tactics or sales tactics. This is about building a business in a way that feels good for you. And that is what I specialize in and helping my clients do as well. And they're in all sorts of different industries. And as part of this, when we're thinking about investments, right, tough decisions shouldn't be shied away from. In fact, quite often the hardest decisions are going to have the biggest impact on your business. When we're thinking about our goals, I want you to attach meaning to them, because when we attach meaning to them, we have that emotional connection. It allows you to really consider what the impact is of you achieving those goals. What does that mean to your family, your business, your friends? But also considering what's the impact of you not achieving your goals. Like, what happens then? What happens to your family, your business, your friends, your children? What is that meaning? Because that is the stuff that is going to attach the real connection for you to your business. But actually on those hard days, that's going to make you get up and do things. It's going to get you into that focus, that intentional action. Now, one of the things that I pride myself on is to keep things simple. I love sharing simple strategies, really breaking things down into actionable, small and manageable and achievable steps. And one of my clients said to me the other day, Beth Hocking, she's a leadership coach. She's amazing, really helping people from a corporate perspective to get to their next level of success in their career. And she said to me, she goes, "You're an absolute genius in breaking things down that feel hard into really simple, actionable steps." And that's what it should be, right? Like, business can feel hard when we've not been in that space before or we're trying something new. Having simple strategies gets rid of the overwhelm. It gets rid of the potential burnout. It means that we can take intentional, focused steps on the things that are actually going to make a difference. I don't want you to be in a space of doubt. I want you to be in a space of desire, because the moment we go into doubt is the moment that we go into hustle and scarcity. I want you to think about abundance here. I want you to be in that space for empowered decision making. And that comes back to this mindset side of things. And also considering, as part of that, your clients need to want their results more than you, right? If you have clients that work with you and they're expecting a magic bullet, but not prepared to do any of the work to get there, they're not going to get them. So that is a massive red flag as a client to offer, as a coach, or whoever you're working with, or even from a product owner. If you are having clients that are questioning everything, that are not prepared to take action, they're not going to be the right people and they're not going to get the results. And they probably won't get the results until they shift that mindset. Boundaries in your work and life are absolutely key, because it affects how you choose to run your day-to-day. It affects how you choose to run your week. And that is going to be unique to you as well. There is no right way to run your business. Integration of your life and work, whatever happens in your life is going to affect your business. Whatever happens in your business is going to affect your life. Like, I see people that are, shouting all over social media, "I'm so happy I work a 4-day week. That for me is success personified." Brilliant. If that's working for them. I tried that and it made me feel really overwhelmed, because I have children who need me to be around for them at the end of the day. I want to be there for the school pickup and the school drop off. And that means I have short days. When I try to fit everything into 4 days of long days, I felt super guilty that I wasn't spending time with them. I felt really overwhelmed. And then I was like, I don't need to do this. I've got 5 days. In fact, I've got 7 days in a week. How I choose to work across that time, whether that's weekends, evenings, that's totally up to me. I get to choose that. There is no right way. Okay. And I really want you to consider that, because actually an optimum you is going to lead to optimum results in your business. And that comes down to the energetics. It comes down to you being in the best possible space from a health perspective, not just from a physical health, but a mindset and emotional space as well. It allows you to make better decisions. It allows you to make clearer decisions, faster decisions. So if someone's telling you that there is a right way to have success, there is a right way to run your week, they are wrong. The best way is the way that feels good for you. And this goes back to the fact that work is just a pillar of life. When we look at a wheel of life, work is just one part of that. So we want to create that work, that business that allows you to support the life that you want to lead, that allows you to build the relationships, that allows you to spend time with your friends and family, that allows you to have the income that you desire, right? So it's hugely important that we recognize this. Your systems are really key in this, and it's a little bit to do with boundaries, but actually thinking about the systems you need in place, really optimizing how you're working, the processes that you have in place. This is a complete game changer. Simplifying things, making things super easy, knowing what's happening when will allow you to move quicker within your business. And when you're doing this, really thinking about your goals, I want you to think about choosing not just business and financial goals. I want you to think about your personal and your lifestyle goals as well, right? Like, how many hours a day do you want to work? Do you want to work weekends or evenings? Do you want to be, working during school holidays or just term time? Do you want to start or not start working until 10:30, 11 o'clock during the day? Do you want to do exercise? All of this, again, allows you to choose how you fix your boundaries, both work and life as well. It allows you to prioritize your actions. Another example, if you need a cash injection right now in the short term, then all your actions should be about income generation. Get intentional, get focused, but only that is going to come from you creating the goals that feel good for you. Okay, now as part of this, and again, part of what I see, and I want to bust some smoke and mirrors myths around consistency, because a lot of people will tell you that you need to be consistently visible everywhere. Now, I totally disagree with this. My background is in marketing and in sales. And for me, consistency is not the same as constancy. And I know I use and make up that word with constancy, but it fits really well with consistency versus constancy. Being everywhere is not required. What I want you to do is to be targeted and be intentional with where you're showing up and be consistent in a way that feels good for you. Don't show up for every day for a month and then disappear for 3 months. You might feel better showing up on a regular basis 3 times a week, but doing that every single week. Be real, be relevant, and be relatable. My 3 R's that I talk a lot about. Show up as you, be real, be relevant to your audience, making sure that your content is relatable, that it shows that empathy, shows that understanding. Because there are people in your audience that are already there and waiting for you to offer that thing that they've been waiting for. Now, Becky, who is a client in my mastermind, she came to work with me and she was about 2 to 3K every month. And we got her up to 10K months after creating a new £4,000 package, which she sold out and had a wait list in just 8 weeks. So really moving into this space of not undervaluing yourself because your mindset is there, right? Or even other people's opinions telling you that you can't charge something because they don't see the value in it. Prices should be based on the results that you can create, not just a finger in the air, though. And I do want to caution that this isn't about putting high ticket out there for the sake of high ticket. This is about valuing what you do and the help that you are allowing people. Becky is an amazing website and copyright coach and branding coach. And I definitely recommend going and checking her out, Becky Southall. She is amazing at what she does at Bare Left Studio. And we had this conversation because she wanted to be able to support people at a higher level, but didn't quite know how to do it. And we put together a package that felt really, really good for her and felt really aligned to her customers, her clients. And we got the messaging that spoke to that. And that's when the results came through. Now, another point about this is to create offers that you are 100% in love with and that gets the results your clients want. Go through your whole business model and get rid of anything else that you're not 100% in alignment with, that you don't love delivering, that you don't look at, you don't want to be there. And if you don't want to do that live, maybe it still works for your clients. Think about a different way that you could deliver it. change things to a self-study, put it in a different format that allows the clients to still get the results, even if you're not 100% in love with that delivery mode anymore. Find a coach that understands you, and this is part of the investment decision. Find a coach that understands you and what you do, but also that has similar values to you. Now, this is one of the things that another client of mine in my mastermind, Debbie Willis, now she is a hypnobirthing and antenatal educator. She's amazing at what she does, Better Birth and Baby, go check her out. And she came to work with me because I understand her, I understand what she's looking to do, and I understand her clients. I've been pregnant myself. I've had loads of issues with being pregnant and at the point of birth, where at one, my first baby, he nearly died during childbirth, which is probably the most extreme example. So understand how her clients feel. And I really try and put myself in a position of not just my client, but actually my client's clients, because that's when you're going to create the content, the marketing messaging that allows you to sell in a way that feels good. Now, I mentioned there about having a coach that has similar values to you. Now, this is something that was a complete game changer for me. When I qualified as a positive psychology coach, I really took a look at what my core values were, what my core strengths were. And this enabled me to completely catapult my success because I looked at what I love to deliver and how I love to deliver it. I don't like running big programs. I like relationships. Relationships and giving is one of my love languages. And for me, that's really important. You build a business in alignment with you and how you operate. That's why I don't have massive programs. I like to get to know people. I like to work with people on an individual basis in smaller communities where they get to build relationships and connections. Because when you get under the skin, that's when you can give the best support. And for me, that's what's important. I don't want to be in a container, and I don't choose to be in containers that are huge because I don't want to get lost. If I'm investing, especially high level, I want that coach to be able to look at my business and be able to help and support me as well. So finding a coach that understands you is really, really core, but also understanding your strengths and your values will enable you to do that as well. Now, accountability, this is one of the big things, isn't it? Because we can have all these goals, these dreams, we can take action, but actually being held accountable. When are you going to achieve those goals? That goes back to the why, the meaning, making sure that you are focusing on the right things. You might need an accountability buddy. It's one of the things that I have in my mastermind is every single week, I get them to commit 3 to 5 things that they're going to focus on that week. Keeps intentionality, gets the accountability, and keeps that focus on moving forward in a way that feels good, but also the things that actually get results. Now, one of the other things as part of that is as part of focus, is that I want you to have time to work not just on your business, but you have to be in it. Of course, you have to be in it, but working on your business so that you have time and the headspace to grow, to scale, to look at other opportunities. You want to be able to say yes to the things that feel good and those opportunities that come along, not just say, oh, I'm too busy, I don't have the time. That's not going to help you grow. Your time is one of the most valuable assets that you have, and only you have that, and only you choose to do that. As part of this, I want you to think about your scalable offers. Understanding the driving force of your business that we spoke about earlier, having scalable offers allows you to spend time working on your business and in your business. Doing everything one-to-one basis, you can't scale that. So really thinking about ways that you can, and this is a little bit linked to having a multi-tiered business, but knowing what's working for you, being able to find a way to scale that is what's really important. And one of the questions that I ask all of my clients when we're going through this is, what's the simplest, easiest way for you to achieve those things? And then we break down all of those pathways to success. Okay, I've gone through a lot today. My 40th point, my 40th lesson is it's okay to change, right? I have evolved so much over the last 20 odd years that I've been running my own business, and started off in corporate. I learned a huge amount of things, not just from living abroad and working in different cultures, working on different brands and businesses, different budgets, but that also led to corporate burnout. And I really struggled with that. And it changed my perspective when I became pregnant as to how I wanted to live my life. That's when I changed and became a holistic health and massage therapist. I decided that I was going to do something different. I realized very quickly when I became fully booked after just 5 months that I needed a different business model, allowing me to scale, allowing me to have that flexibility. I was living abroad at the time. I needed to have that space to be able to come back to England to see friends and family without closing my business every time. That's when I started creating a product business. And I sold that almost 3 years to the day, actually. because I built that brand. It became celebrity endorsed. It won amazing industry awards. And I got intentional with how I wanted to do that. I knew a product business wasn't forever for me. So I created that brand that allowed me to then sell it on. All of the learnings that I've had over the last 20 years, but actually full 40 years, from my time as an elite athlete playing sport for England, to having serious injuries where I had to learn to walk again, the mindset shifts that comes with that, becoming a mum, so many different things that have allowed me to utilize all of my experience to work in different industries, to work in different products, services, offerings, allows me to take pretty much any business and help you scale it in a way that feels good for you. And that's the bit that I love doing now. So I want to say it's okay to change, right? It's okay to evolve. It's okay to look at things in a way that you want to, but you have to take that CEO approach. You have to have those check-ins with yourself. What feels good? What doesn't? Really focusing on that will really, really help you. So my bonus tip for you is to never stop learning, never stop working on you, because staying static and settling, that's not a nice place to be, especially if you're someone who wants more from life and wants to give more, have more impact. And for me, that's why you're in business, because you want to help other people, right? So I've shared with you 40 lessons. I would love for you to let me know which of these lessons speak to you most. You might want to go back and re-listen to this because I know I've shared a lot here. Drop me a message over on Instagram at Sarah Cook Coaching and let me know. I would love to hear this, because this is my biggest gift to you all, to share my learnings over the last 40 years. And I would love to celebrate my birthday this weekend with you dropping me a message to let me know which of these lessons has spoken most to you. So have a wonderful day. I hope it's been useful for you. And I can't wait to hear from you over on Instagram at Sarah Cook Coaching to allow you to move forward and scale your business in a way that feels good for you.
Thanks for listening to the Healthy Business Podcast. To get your free checklist with 1-minute hacks to accelerate your business and find out more about our community, head to my website, sarahcookmarketing.com/healthy business.